Okay, you're going to work this worksheet along with me. This is practice 8.3 and it is length in the metric system. So this time, we've already studied length, but this time it's in the metric system, not the customary system. In the customary system, the lengths we talked about were feet and inches, miles, yards. Those are the ones that we were looking at on your math chart. And now we're going to be looking at the metric system. And those lengths are millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. So in your notes on the side over here where you have some space, I want you to transfer this information onto your notes. Remember, you're turning this worksheet in at the end of the class period. So I'm going to be looking for these guides here, these little benchmarks to help you. 1 millimeter, that's about how thick a dime is. Not how wide it is, not how tall it is, but how thick it is. The part that you slide into the Coke machine, the part that goes in first, that's how thick it is. That's about a millimeter. 1 centimeter is the width of your pinky finger. Okay, it takes 10 millimeters to make 1 centimeter. So if you took your finger, your pinky finger, and you sliced it into 10 wiggly little slices, each one would be a millimeter. Okay, and the width of your pinky is about a centimeter. Mine's a little bit bigger, but it's a good benchmark. 1 meter, that is about the width of a doorway. So across is 1 meter, about. And then 6 city blocks is about 1 kilometer. And what we're going to do is write some examples, or we're going to identify how long some of these examples are. The length of a fly, that would be about, well, we would measure those in millimeters. We're not going to measure them, actually. We're going to say you would measure that in millimeters. It wouldn't make sense to measure that in kilometers or with a meter stick. It would be with millimeters. The thickness of a pen, that too would be millimeters. What about the length of a football field? We measure those in yards, okay? But in the metric system, we would use meters. It's too short to measure it with kilometers. And I would hope that you wouldn't want to get centimeters out there. That would be a bunch of pinkies. Can you imagine measuring your football field or a football field with your pinky? Okay, the width of a sheet of notebook paper. What would that be? You would measure those in centimeters. What about the width of a drinking glass? Again, it's centimeters. Meters are too big. You wouldn't want to use a meter stick for that. What about the height of a mountain? Can you imagine measuring the height of a mountain with dimes? No, you would want to use meters. The distance from New York City to Los Angeles, definitely not pinkies there. You wouldn't want to measure with pinkies or meter sticks. You'd use kilometers. The distance from one end of a school to the other end, what would that be? Meters. Okay, number 9 says estimate the length of each of the following, then measure to find the actual length. Okay, that's difficult to do with an iPad. Okay. But this one, if you take your pinky, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I got 7 pinkies long on this one. Okay, so 7 pinkies is about 7 centimeters. All right. On number 10, okay, how many pinkies wide is that? Take your pinky and just put it up here on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! I was not supposed to do that. Now, it's not going to be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's because I'm double tapping it. Let me go slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 centimeters on that. Okay, now that I've moved it, I'm going to look at my shell over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, it changed that measurement. I'm going to go ahead and put 10 and then see if I can leave it here without double tapping it. Okay, now knowing that is about 10, I'm going to look at this feather and try to guess. Let's see, that's 10. That's about 2 shells, so I'm going to say that's about 20 centimeters. Okay, and then this other one is a little bit smaller. So maybe 15 centimeters. Okay, those are all estimates. Of course, it's impossible to do with an iPad, so we're not going to. Okay, the next one, which is greater, 6,200 meters or 5 kilometers? For this problem, you're going to set up a WGU table, okay, and we're going to change meters to kilometers, or you can change kilometers to meters. Okay, I think I'm going to change kilometers to meters. You're going to need your mathematics chart. At this point, you can Google 6th grade STAR math chart. Okay, let you get on the internet and find one of those, and you can save it. You can do a screenshot on your iPad so that you always have it, and it's a really good picture too. You just need to Google it, and then when you find it, you need to remember there's 2 sides to it that you need to get a picture of. Okay, so that STAR math chart or resource chart is where you're going to find your given information. Why doesn't that move with it? That's where you find your given information. Okay, so set up your WGU table. WGU, and we're talking about meters and kilometers. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So 5 kilometers, remember I said I was going to change 5 kilometers. What's 5 times 1,000? That's 5,000. Divided by 1 is 5,000. Okay, so which is greater, 6,200 meters or 5,000 meters? It would be 6,200 meters. Why? Because 5,000 meters equals 5 kilometers. That's why. Okay, look at the next one. Which is less, 2 kilometers or 1 mile? 2 kilometers or 1 mile. I'm going to read your explanation on that. Let's see, you can use your resources, whichever resources you want to for that. And you can look that up. I want to see your explanations when you turn that in. Okay, the next one, picture frames. Yolanda is making a square picture frame from 4 pieces of wood. Should she be accurate to the nearest meter, to the nearest centimeter, or to the nearest millimeter? Explain your reasoning. Okay, you're going to write on this one too. Do not leave this one blank. You need to make sure that you have that answered. Okay? And now you are done with lesson 8.3. You are going to turn your paper over and do lesson 8.4 and follow along on the video for that.